What, if any, mistakes have you made in your YouTube journey, and how did you kind of solve them or work through them?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of mistakes that are going to be made. And you've even mentioned it a couple of times, like every YouTuber is different. And I completely agree. And every niche of ours is different, right? And so you have me
Hmm.
doing a talking head educational channel. You've got Mr. Beast, who's doing these big, extravagant things. You've got
Yeah.
Marquez Brownlee, who's doing very good product reviews. There are a lot of different things out there that you hope to connect with your audience. I think the biggest mistakes that I have made, one would involve the comments. So I told you I read all of the comments. And I would say 9 out of 10 comments that come through are great. They are nice, they are encouraging, they are thankful for putting this information out there. But about 1 in every 10 are not. And it's crazy how strangers out there, having never met you, can find your deepest, darkest insecurities, and they can just push on those
Yeah.
through the comments of a YouTube section. So starting out, especially if I'm interviewing a guest and they start bashing the guest, like I used to get really defensive and like I got to defend my guest's honor and like let's argue over YouTube comments, which I have found never works out great, and there's
Hmm.
nobody who wins in those things. So there is a level of you need to take the comments into consideration, but I think the biggest mistake I made early on was really taking those comments and internalizing them and feeling like I was inadequate or I was a loser or whatever based off of some stranger saying something mean on YouTube. So that's
Hmm.
probably number one. Number two would be, to our point of there are a lot of different types of YouTubers. For me to look at Mr. Beast or Marquez or any of these big YouTubers and try to be them goes against what I said earlier of that's not me, and going against who I am, whether that's in the delivery of the videos themselves or in making titles and thumbnails that are just wildly clickbait silly to where my audience is going to click on it and not get delivered what they thought they
Hmm.
would, based off of what that title promised. So I experimented with a lot of that in the past of let's make more extravagant titles or crazier thumbnails or whatever. And that didn't end up helping as much as I probably hoped that it would have at the time. And now I understand it. And then the last thing I think is, again, trying to build something different than what you need. So my life and my lifestyle is great the way that it is going, and building videos to help people and trying to stay true to that and not change my channel or ruin my channel by bringing in elements of it that my subscriber base does not appreciate. And even if you go down to a very small thing with that is I've experimented with putting background music in my videos,
Hmm.
like a lot of videos have, just very quiet. And I get so many seniors who get so angry about any music being in there. Like, this music is so distracting, get rid of it. And I like watching videos that have that background music, but I think the whole point of that is what I like isn't what my audience likes. And so
Hmm.
I'm helping my audience, not necessarily me personally with my own fancy editing techniques or music or jokes or humor or whatever that might be.
Yeah. This isn't my final question, but I am curious. Do you delete or block any comments, or I guess, what's the word? Manage your comments strictly, or do you just like let anything go?
I delete them. It's not a lot because I do want to keep an open dialogue with people. But if they're bullying other commenters, that's something that will really quickly get you deleted from my channel. If they're using a lot of mean, hateful language, like swear words and everything else, and calling
Hmm.
people out, whether that's me or my guest or other commenters, that's a quick way to get deleted from my channel. And YouTube makes that pretty easy. You can hide users from your channel without them knowing, and they just don't show up anymore. But if they disagree with me, I'm not deleting those. But if they're blatantly lying about something that could impact a retiree's decision, that's something that I don't want somebody to read that comment and go, oh yeah, like maybe I should try this cryptocurrency meme coin that isn't real because that'll help my retirement. It's like, whoa, like, and I get a lot of spam promotions that are coming through the comments. So those get removed. But for the most part, I keep whatever people want to talk about.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.